Hey there.
Hello, gentlemen.
Hello there.
Are you all?
Good. Still non-COVID.
That's good. It's a wild world in every regard.
You've had it, right, Michael?
Twice.
Hi. Nate?
Yeah.
Just once.
Just once. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
got
think that
the
was, you got the new one?
booster. Yeah, I got the booster. Yeah. Couple
Yeah,
weeks.
I'm getting it on Friday, and I always get sick, so it's sort of a bummer.
The last time I was out of commission for 2.5 days. I mean, I was just gone, no energy. So I scheduled this one to leave days with nothing planned.
Mhm.
No problem. Sore, lumpy, red, hot. That was it.
Oh, wow.
So I encourage you to think positive thoughts.
Yeah. Well, Lucy told me she has a friend in Amherst who got it, and that person was achy for 2 weeks. So, like,
Yeah. Okay.
but I'll go into it with positive. If I get 24 hours feeling crappy, I'll be happy. Unfortunately.
It's the alternative.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Joke. No joke. Yeah.
Yeah. Lucy had it, let's see, in the end of August, like for 10 days. It was, so I sort of feel like I probably got exposed because, you know, you sort of live with the person, drive with the person before you know that it's happening.
Yeah.
So by that point, you've gotten whatever exposure you're going to get. So we'll see. So Miriam can't join us today. She's doing grandma duty. So,
Oh, she was going
oh, there's Isaac. Okay, cool. I was going to see if he came, but he is here.
because she was going to take minutes.
Could you do it? Yeah. Nate did it last time.
Okay, I'll do it.
Okay, and she's up next time. I'll remind her.
Yeah.
And once Isaac gets approved, like he gets slotted into the rotation. Hi, Isaac. How are you?
Good, thanks. How are you doing?
If you're
Hanging in
officially
there.
on board, you'll be put in the queue.
Yeah.
Oh,
Let me
for note taking?
yeah.
Yeah.
Let me get a
It's an important skill for every municipal official.
let me get
Yeah.
a Word doc started here. Okay.
Tell me when you're ready. I'll start the meeting at your call.
Okay. Call to order at
5:02. Cool. Thank you, Gail.
yeah.
So Isaac, I was saying Miriam can't make it tonight, so it's just the four of us.
Okay.
And I guess, I hadn't thought about that.
Are we a quorum?
Yeah. Like of the,
You know what? We're not.
yeah. Hold on. Give me a second.
Do we need a quorum to appoint Isaac?
Mhm.
Oh, but you're not official until you're appointed by the select board.
Yeah.
In
So.
in the nerd department, I just got this finally. Nice and fat.
Oh, baby.
The Nerd Bible,
Yeah. So, I got tired of looking at stuff online.
because we're a
So-
7-member committee.
Yeah, so it's a matter of,
Oh, yeah.
the fact that it's not who's present, but let me just see. I'm feeling like we probably are at a quorum, which would sort of suck. It should be.
She's grandmother duty. Can't she pull up a laptop or a
She's going to an open house thing.
that's
So
too
she's
bad.
going to go sit on the floor and look at preschool art.
Oh,
That's my guess.
yeah.
Okay.
Do we have anything timely? Nate, what
Well-
about your responses and stuff that we're supposed to?
So good question. I don't know. There's this idea to schedule a speaker to address building codes.
Right.
And yeah, I think the letter to legislators is also maybe at least somewhat time sensitive.
You know what, what, we would not have to wait the 4 weeks for our next meeting, just because that's our regular schedule. We could call a meeting for whenever Miriam's next available, that we'd all be available.
Would it be also sufficient for the three of you to vote? And then if it passes that, then just email Miriam and just see if she gives the green light and then add that to the minutes, or no?
No, I'm gonna call her. I'll be back in a sec.
Okay.
So Isaac, without a quorum, you can't do anything.
Got it.
By Robert's Rules of Procedure, but also by public meeting law. I mean, that's aimed primarily at meeting away from public view, but it's true also for public view. You have to have a quorum.
Okay. Well, I guess if he's on the phone with Miriam, then maybe we should, is there anything other than the letter that needs deciding?
Well, one of our agenda items is about bringing in a speaker for a future informational meeting, and the hope was, well, to discuss like when to do that. And I think if we were to put it off a month, then that would kind of lock us into, like running into the holidays. And but I like Gail's idea. If we could find a relatively near, you don't have to wait a month.
No, we'd have to wait at least, 48 hours for it to be posted as a meeting, but that,
Yeah. When I first learned about all the details of open meeting law, because there's like a training that you need to take, I wondered how anything could possibly get done. It's like how do you work?
it is so constrained, yeah.
But it is possible to get things done for sure. But there are considerations to be sure.
Well, Nate, I watched that video on the wind turbine locations, and that was real interesting. Your GIS work was really impressive.
Thank you.
And then, I mean, was that the only conversation? Because what would it look like to be built on private land? Like, if we were to, designate, because in the meeting, you'd looked at Locks Pond Road, and they're now running, like, per Graham's comment, they're running three-phase electricity down Locks Pond Road. So if there was a viable spot on the other side of Locks Pond Road that wasn't the public land, what would that look like for the private landowner to be participating in that?
But there's a major obstacle to all that, and that's called wind speed. And one of the things I was going to report tonight is following up on Nate's remarks, as you said, about because the study that was done on wind turbines in town was 2009? Long time ago. Yeah. And the remark was made that there's been new technology since then and so forth and so on. So I started into it. A ton of stuff to learn. It's really quite exact. But long story short, the big wind turbines that are typically 100 meters tall, so they're at a wind current at that level, require wind speeds in the realm of 10 and 11 meters per second. The newer technology, the fan belt guys, at 30 meter can require less, and they're called low speed meters. But it goes down as low as 6 or 7 meters per second.
Are they less or more efficacious than the, like in generation powers? Like
They can be more because you can partner them X feet away and they feed each other turbulence basically, which the only problem is that the average wind speed in nearly all of Massachusetts is in the 1-2 meters per second neighborhood. And there's a wonderful map online. Of course, you can find all these wonderful maps of Massachusetts. The only thing that approaches 6 meters per second is Cape Cod. And I talked to the owner and builder of one of these companies, and he said, I'd asked him, could he come, gave him the background of the town and the investigation and the website and all that with the history and stuff. How could he, and his website and another one said, call us if we can help you develop a program or a project. So I sent him an email query and he wrote right back. He said, how could the town assess the feasibility of your product on town land? And Massachusetts, no, wouldn't even think about it. And they're really opting to put these little short guys, 30 meter guys, in the big open fields in the plains.
Yeah.
So couple them. So you got the tall 100 meter pinwheel, and they're talking about putting networks of these lower 30 meter guys in the same fields, which would amplify. It's more than a doubling effect. It's an amazing coupled network effect. So,
but not in Shutesbury.
No, not in any of Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Or much of. There's another map that shows wind speeds across the whole nation. I mean, there's just great swash down the middle of the central plains states.
Oh, yeah.
And that's about it. Offshore is good. There's one super high wind speed place in the Sierras, and I don't remember now on the map. Little bitty blue place.
Okay, I'm back. So Miriam didn't pick up, so I guess she's gone to her meeting. And I just tried to call Grace, who didn't pick up, but I was Googling because the issue is in creating ECAC, we have up to 7 slots, but the select board has only appointed 4 of us because everyone else didn't get reappointed. So I just looking, I found out on the Amherst website. It seems like what the Amherst website says is that it's based on the number that's constituted, which would be the 7,
Yeah.
unless you have a special policy, a town policy that talks about because this is what it says in Amherst's open meeting law FAQ. When there's a vacancy in a public body, a quorum is still measured by the number of members of the public body as constituted. However, a general or special law, executive order, or other authorizing provision may provide for the quorum of a public body to a majority of the members serving on the body, which would be us. But I just was looking.
But we don't have that, so.
We don't have it because I just looked at. So that might be something we want to ask the select board.
Pursue, yeah.
Not something you could vote on tonight, though.
No.
Correct.
So
We've
I
had
would
this
say-
interesting conversation, but
Yeah, well, no, I
not a
think
meeting.
so. We can't really call the meeting to order because we can't. But I think you lost me.
You just dropped down in volume. Oh, now you're gone.
gone, Tom.
Okay,
Oh, there you're back.
Back.
I'm good.
Yeah.
You're good.
Okay, cool. Crazy making technology. One sec. Yeah.
So we're looking at calendars.
You muted yourself.
there we go. Now I can hear you guys. I couldn't hear you.
Ah,
So what I was gonna do, we can't ourselves to order, but the two things we can do is if there's information we just want to share as a not meeting, because we're not allowed to deliberate, but if there's something that's worthwhile, or we can just reschedule for like next week or something.
Scheduling is legit.
Oh, yeah, we can definitely do that.
Yeah.
And I know that you guys were just discussing if there was something timely. So next week, hey, let's do Halloween. Haha.
mhm.
You guys walk in the roads in
If-
Shutesbury.
If we move quickly, we'd have 48 hours to a meeting Thursday evening. Oh, not at 5 though. Are you coaching on Thursday? Nate?
I coach on Thursday at 7:30.
Yeah, I can't, I've got a meeting in Springfield. I can't on
Okay.
Thursday night.
Never mind.
Doesn't matter for me yet, but on Thursdays I have fire training from 6 to 9. So
So Thursday's out.
No.
Next Tuesday? Halloween?
Is Monday bad for everybody?
Yep. Well, I don't know about everybody, but I can't meet.
It's bad for you.
Well, if the
And
others could
Wednesday-
meet, that's my weekly mahjong game, but if everybody else can meet that night, then I'll sacrifice.
Run into the same problem until Isaac gets approved. How about the second? That's Thursday's bad because we got
Yeah.
yeah, that stinks.
What's the matter with Halloween?
I'm assuming that Nate's gonna be walking around with his kids.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
right?
True.
yeah,
And then
And Isaac, your face says the same. Okay.
yes.
Okay. Wednesday the 1st?
Hey, wait, I have a question. Isaac, when did you move to town?
21, I think.
So you've done the Halloween
February.
thing.
Yeah, we did a trunk or treat then, and so yeah, and I'll be at the fire station giving out donuts and cider until Ollie makes it down there with his friends, and then I'll jump out and do the rest of the trick or treating with him.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure you knew where the scene was.
Yeah. Well, apparently the scene's in Montague, but but locally, yeah, the trunk or treat. We decorated our car for that trunk or treat, and I think there was maybe two or three, like we were like one of 3 cars that were decorated with candy. But it was nice doing the walk. My wife volunteers with the PTO, and she helped organize candy donations and drop-offs for people who were interested on the road, so that was good. And I was really impressed with the fire department with the cider donuts and the apple cider.
It's a great. It's great.
Yeah. So I'm excited to be a part of that. Yeah.
Yeah. When my kids were small, the guy who owned Yankee Candle was still alive, and so the thing was to go to his house in Leverett because he gave out like
jugglers,
big,
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a whole like scene, and he gave out huge like big candy bars. It was like the place to go.
I can
You had to
imagine.
go hit that up.
Yeah, so we have a binder in the fire department that's on all the engines, and they have like just maps, right? So of the Sirius community, so you know like what, like if somebody says we're at this place in the Sirius community, you can find it. Well, he's got like 4 pages of like all the property. It's like it's quite insane.
That's wild.
Yeah.
God. Okay, so back to the fun thing of scheduling. Wait, and well, I mean, you can also do it via email if it gets too painful. But
Oh yeah. Well,
so it seems like Thursdays are bad.
do you guys work with when to meet? When to meet? That's kind of an easy format that you could send a link to people and they can just put their availability in and you can see where it meshes.
I use Calendarly, but it's interesting. For all the scheduling, we've never done that, and I guess we could do that. That's not against statute.
It's real low hanging fruit. Yeah.
Yeah,
Might be good since we do need Miriam's input.
yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
So let me ask you so I'll do that as soon as we hang up, and I'll do the next 2 weeks, and I will also email. Let's see.
Are daytime
I'll
daytime
email-
times available possible?
I was gonna say thinking outside the box, like during a lunch hour, right? You know?
Yeah, I mean, I'm depending on the day I'm available. Nate, how about you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty flexible.
Okay. And Gail, you are.
Yep.
And Isaac, like lunchtime works for you?
Yeah, I mean, I usually have a lunch from like 12:15 to 1:15, but I can just kind of move that around depending, like if I got enough notice, but I have an hour
Okay.
for lunch.
Cool. Well, maybe what we'll do is if we can find even a half hour just to sort of, because I think the things we got to do is we have to officially recommend Isaac so that when we go to the planning board, the select board, there's a recommendation. We've got to figure out I think you guys were talking about when I was trying to call Miriam, the speaker decision. And there's also this grant that I just stumbled upon, the meta grant, which we have to figure out if we want to do that. So maybe I'll see if we can look for something midday, like next week. And just, if not, or this week, the next few days, just, let's see. We could
Oh,
do Thursday, we do Friday.
You've got the
This one.
48-hour notice thing. Yeah. So Friday daytime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or early next week, we can try to do.
And one more thing, Michael, is to get Nate's emails to Saunders and Camerford. Aren't those on a time?
Nate, are they timely?
I don't know when votes happen or might happen.
Okay. So.
But-
recommendation.
It's a little opaque.
But that would be quick. I mean, we approve what you send us to look at and it goes.
I think the thing with the meta grant is that the application deadline is November 17th. So if it's something
it's
that
real- Yeah, it's really tight because the way it works is we have to get the select board approval to submit because they officially submit on behalf of the town. So we can write it and
Right.
have to agree to it. It's all cumbersome.
But it would be a decision at that meeting to do it or not, to pursue that or not, right?
Yes, and had we been able to discuss it today, we could say we were going forward with it.
Right.
I could have preemptively written it, and then we go to them and say, bless it and send it to Becky.
Well,
But
there's
can-
But
nothing to stop you from getting
I was gonna-
started on it.
yeah.
yeah, that's true. I'm reading the room, shall we say, since we're not really meeting.
Yeah.
Let's see. And Miriam was not going to talk about stormwater because she wasn't going to be here. And Gail, we can put off the wind turbine. It sounds like you discussed a little bit. We can have a more, that's not a timely discussion. That just should be soon. And
It should just be in the minutes somewhere for future reference.
yeah, and then CCA, Nate, is there something that's like timely in terms of CCA, in terms of the broker or stuff like that?
No.
Okay, cool.
Oh, Nate, did you get that email I forwarded you from National Grid? It was just a general email. Like there was an email from National Grid to all National Grid customers saying that
Yes.
the energy, like the kilowatt hour rates were going to go because of the market, they were going to go down by 26% this winter. So I was wondering if that would bode well for our application. Like I wonder if that would be far reaching, with the general cost of energy.
Yeah.
Couldn't hurt.
Intriguing. Yeah, couldn't hurt.
Right.
Could indicate a general market condition.
Right. That's
Yeah.
more what I was kind of pointing at. Yeah.
Totally.
Okay. Well, I wish I had thought of this when Miriam said she wasn't showing up because it hasn't been an issue. And it didn't strike me that we were so close to the empty.
Well, does it make
Yeah,
sense,
yeah.
like in the interim, because I don't know how long the appointment process takes, but also, all right, with me it would be 5 people, right? So there's still 2 vacant seats until they get filled. So you know, a conversation about that special like request to have it be considered might be timely, just so we're not
Yeah.
stuck in this position again. And, you know, hopefully,
Well, I think, I don't know, yeah, if you've heard, but the buzz I've heard is that we might have a special town meeting. And so, not that it's urgent, but if you know, it'd be interesting to sort of float it, but I'll definitely bring it to the attention of the select board, because I think that would be helpful. Just to sort of be presenting to their done business.
It would be,
And sure,
it would be
Well, well,
proposing a policy, I think.
yeah, actually, the policy could just be the select board policies, so they're the executive branch, so they're allowed to adopt policies for the town. So that would be easy. I'll share it with them, but you know, in lieu of that, or in the interim, we can have one, we can still meet if we have one of us missing what size is got printed. So that works. Okay. Well, why don't I not adjourn us since we never opened? Anything else you want to share before we call it an early night? And I'll set up the calendar thing as soon as we get off this.
Awesome.
But see you guys. See you soon. Sound good? Bye.
Thanks for the conversation, y'all.
Thank you. Good
You
to see
guys.
you.